You want, what do you want to do? Just watch your back.
పట్టుకోండి బరువుగా ఉంది నచ్చిందేమో మంచి రోజెస్ ఇష్టం అని రోజు తెప్పించాను Give him all the stuff that we have for him.
Yeah.
No, those go here. These are for... No, those go here. These are separate. Dad, you wanted your hearing aids. They are right here. I'm giving them to you, okay? Use them, okay? You have with new batteries. Okay. You know what this is, right? This is what you are going to use it to pray, right? You love this outfit. I'm putting it right here for you. Let me set it here. You can catch. Okay, Dad. Okay, your pen. You want to do puzzles, right? This is the pen. Who are you gonna cheat off of up there? Huh? Who are you gonna cheat off of in Vaikuntham? Who's gonna do Pada Vinodam with you? And who's gonna let you cheat off of their papers? All right. The next comes your mirror. You don't let anyone touch it. It is with you permanently and your favorite home. Okay? And
That's probably soiled with lots of oil.
Of course.
We forgot Halls, but we know you've been sneaking cough drops. So here, take some with you.
Your favorite one. You don't want me to buy new one. Every week you put 1 drop, you make it liquid to put it tilakam. This is right here with you. You can use it as much as you want. You can pour as much water as you want. You can make it as much liquid as you want. Now you go and make God's home walls messy with red. Okay? Okay? God will take care of it to clean. Okay, Nana? Here it is for you. I'm keeping right here. Take care, Nana. We love you. We miss you. We follow your guidance.
Okay. Friends, family, thank you all for for being here today, whether it's in person or via the link, for all the messages, the calls, everything. The family really appreciates all the support that we've received. We're here to honor the life of Mr. Vedantam, Tata, Nana, Dad, Grandma, Matata. There's so many names that he can go by. And we're going to start first with some immediate family sharing a few words of memories and things that made them happy with their time with Tata. So we're going to, after that, the puja will start. People can have some time to mingle and see each other, and then the immediate family will go to the crematorium for the last rites. So to start off, we're going to have Tata's granddaughter Shreya and her husband Karthik share a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on this Friday to celebrate Tata's life with us. It means a lot, virtually, everyone who's joined as well. As I'm standing here today, I'm experiencing a mix of emotions. While a big part of it is unfathomable sadness that he's no longer here with us, that I can no longer poke and tickle him, that I can't squish his cute cheeks on his face, pet his perfectly soft oiled hair, and wake up to his prayers in the morning and in the middle of the night, occasionally too. Another part of it is immense gratitude for being his granddaughter and inheriting some of his golden qualities, including his sense of silliness and sarcasm, his passion for classical dance and the arts, and his love for experimenting in the kitchen. I have countless memories from summer vacations when Tata and I would bring the house down together with our laughing, our fighting, just running all over the place, and so much more. Tata always knew what to do, and I knew I could always count on him for solutions and to just have a good time. Tata was a person who was able to adapt to wherever he was and make the most out of it. When Tata and Amama both decided to make New Jersey their home 4 years ago in 2018, we were so happy that we could spend more time and make more memories with them. Over the last few years, I got to see a new side of Tata. He was so childlike, innocent, quiet, but keenly observant, so incredibly disciplined, yet very, very, very mischievous. I'll really miss all of that. I'm sure many of you are aware that Tata passed away during one of the most auspicious days according to the Hindu calendar, on Vaikunta Ekadashi. And I think knowing this makes it a little easier knowing that he's in amazing hands with his favorite God watching over us forever. Tata, I love you so much, and I'm really struggling to imagine what it's gonna be like without you. But I hope you're so happy up in Vaikuntam. I bet you've been enjoying your daily walks as you explore a new place. And I bet you've been enjoying your favorite foods and eating Hall's cough drops without getting scared of being caught. And I know you're probably trying to save power up there too by turning off all the lights in sight. Thank you for being the best Tata and the best example for our family. I promise we'll take care of each other, especially Vamama. And I promise to carry on with me your values and qualities to the very last T, including your dedication of saving power by turning off all the lights in the house. I love you.
Good morning. Good morning, family and friends. As we mourn Sitaramayya Tata's passing, we celebrate the wholesome life that he lived and remember all the joy that he brought to us. Tata was one of the kindest, gentlest, and most self-assured souls that I've ever known. His curiosity and wonder in everything is unmatched and will be missed dearly. Although I've known Tata for only 3.5 short years, there's 3 things that stood out to me the most. He always had a kind word about everything and a warm, radiant smile and embrace for everyone that he met. I'll never forget how wholeheartedly he used to wish us happy birthdays and feed us cake too. His face just blew up whenever he came up to give us that warm greeting and to give us that spoon of cake. He was always ready for play, and that's where some of his adorable childlike quirks came out. For example, Shreya and I used to shine a green laser pointer on the walls or the floor at random times during the day, just to see Tata's reaction and get a reaction from him. And for him to call us out on our mischief too, you know. Tata's reactions ranged from just nodding his head in acknowledgement whenever he was in front of his computer playing solitaire, to tracking it with his eyes when he was in front of the dining table eating broccoli, to kicking it like a soccer ball whenever we pointed it on the floor and he was in the middle of doing his laps around the house. One time, he even asked Atteya what this green dot was that he kept seeing from time to time. And Atteya gave him a rhetorical question back to see what was going on in his mind and what he thought of it. And his response was, Yento.
Niente.
Lastly, Tata was a very devout man who took amazing care of his body, mind, and spirit. He had a systematic way of praying in the morning, and it didn't stop there. He continued it with yoga in the late afternoon and evenings. And this devotion continued into the night as he prayed and chanted bhajans to fall into sleep. Tata, we're going to miss hearing your outbursts into prayers, whether it's in the morning or at 3 a.m. in the night, as you try to go back and fall back into sleep again. Tata, your love and legacy will continue to live on in us. We love you so much.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Tata's granddaughter, Rachna Vedantam, to share with you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. So when I was asked to speak a little bit about Tata, uh, this is harder than I thought it would be. I had so much to say. Instantly, I had so many thoughts. But like when I sat down to write about him, I went blank. So I thought about sharing some similarities that I have with Tata, because we have Tata in all of us. There's a little bit of Tata in Dad. Tata used to do this thing where even Atta shared that story yesterday, which was if he saw something valuable, he would keep it with him, and then later if you asked, "Hey Tata, did you see it?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I have it," and then he would give it to you. He'd be like, "Jartaga undali, like you have to take care of your stuff," and that's exactly what Dad does. Tata is a lifelong. I'm pretty sure he's still learning. I'm just sure of it. He has always learned everything that he liked, like his children, Dad, Atta, Babai, and his grandkids as well. So like Tata and I, the biggest similarity that I share with him is that we're both classical singers and dancers, and I think he was the first one to. Nanama and Tata were the first people to plant that seed in me. Because I remember back in Bareilly when he used to come home, he tried teaching me this one song which went like Sri Guru Guha Taraya Shumam Saravana Bhava, and I would butcher it and say Abba Baba, and then I went on to teach that Abba Baba to all my friends, and then I took all of them, and I was like, yeah, let's sing Abba Baba, and then he would just laugh at us. He would not scold us, he would just laugh. He's like, nahi, ila kadu. And then every time he would come home, he would wait for Amma to make garilu, the vadas. And then I would just like steal two, give one to him, and I eat one. And we used to do that. And he used to just wait for the weekends to come so that Amma would make garilu for him, because he loved garilu. And so do I. And also the brinjal curry, which he used to love, the eggplant curry. We used to enjoy eating that as well. And we're both severely ticklish, like Shriona pointed out. So like all my life I was away. So we would like meet during summer, and but I spent the most time when I shifted to Hyderabad for my studies, and I would just go to him every weekend, and I used to just go, and I didn't care if he was sleeping or he was up. I would just go and tickle him, and he would grab my hand and be like, "Uche sava, da kucho," which essentially meant, "Oh, you came? Okay, come sit down," with the biggest smile. And then he would ask about my college, and we would have conversations about what I learned, and then he would add on to that, which I loved so very much, because he was one of the people in family who actually cared about what I was doing with my life. Um, uh, he has a green thumb. He keeps his plants alive. I try. Believe me, I try. And he likes napping, and so do I. Point being, we are quite similar. in many, many ways, other than the small little things I pointed out. Mm, and like, um, I took every opportunity that I had to annoy him, and he let me with a smile, and never really scolded me about it. He would just laugh at me and with me. Um, but um, I saw him last in 2020. Um I remember going to the airport to drop them off. He was just smiling at me. He never said bye. I never said bye. And I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm not gonna say bye. Because I know he's around us. I know he's watching us speak about him, think of him. And I know he's hearing me. So I'm just gonna say that, Tata, I'm gonna see you on the other side someday. And when I do, you better be ready for the tickle attack. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Tata's eldest grandchild. So we're gonna have Priya and I guess myself share a few words. And Adi and Dev.
Thank you everyone for coming. It feels really unreal to be here today. So we were putting together, just thinking about Tata's life and reflecting over the past few days, and he's such a multi-dimensional person, and it's impossible to talk about everything that you want to talk about all at once. And I'm just so grateful to have had so much time with him. He was there for all of my big milestones, and all of our big milestones, their big milestones. He was there. But here's the thing, as Rachna and my sister said, and Karthik said, he's with us. And let me explain through some of my favorite memories. So that was always, he's always a vision. I think Rachna mentioned it, and Triya mentioned, he knew if he saw something, like a box of tissues, that empty box, he already had a plan for it. And that empty box might show up today, tomorrow, or in 3 months, or in a year. You never know when it's gonna show up. It could be a piece of string. It's there. He's got a use for it, and he's got a very creative use for it. That is 100% recreated in Adi. And the same way that I yell at Adi for bringing in garbage and saving it, Tata would do the same thing, because it wasn't garbage, he just saw the possibilities. I learned how to cook pretty early on, and I was fine, I could handle myself, but dosas were like this thing that I just could never do. And so Tata said, okay, let's figure it out, let me teach you. I'll teach you how to do it. And when he did that, I still follow the same way that he taught me. He would explain the process of distributing the heat evenly and the oil evenly. Now, cookware has dramatically evolved since then, but I still do the same thing. It could be a cast iron pan that perfectly distributes the heat, but I still need to move it around to make sure, just because Tata told me. You see that same exact thing distributed in Divi. She's the exact same way, with that preciseness and that focus on doing things in a very systematic methodology, especially when she's in the kitchen. We were in elementary school. I was in elementary school, I say we all the time. I was in elementary school, and we had a play, and I was one of the people who was responsible for the background scenery. So I had a friend who came over to the house, and she and I had this whole plan of painting the scenery. Tata put aside his whole afternoon and spent his entire afternoon with us facilitating the process of how to best distribute the paint, how to stroke the brush, right? Like he had, you know, he's so good at finding the best way to accomplish a task, and that's just one example. I mean, I could stand for hours talking about all of those. And that embodies lifelong learning, right? I think we've heard that. I mean, and of course, this is evident from his career as an engineer, as a homeopathic practitioner, as a dancer, a violinist, a vocalist. We could just keep going, right? But it's also the smaller things. One of my favorite things is when Shreya and I were little, we would be driving and we would see a Volkswagen bug. And we would punch each other and we'd say, punch buggy, no punch bags. We did that a few times, thought that just observed. Then one time we saw one and he promptly turns to me and he goes, Mitch buggy. Because he didn't know what we were saying. And he just made it up with himself. And when email became more mainstream, I created his first Hotmail account. And then thought that had to be cool, so he needed a Gmail, so I moved him to Gmail. And since then, I realized last night when I did a search, because I remembered the emails, I had all these emails from him. And he always signed it Love, L-A-V, comma, Golden Grandpa, because I used to call him Bangar Tata. And so he signed it, Your Golden Grandpa. Then when Ashok and I got engaged, he had a basic understanding of Tamil, but he started learning and practicing his Tamil. And then he would sign off every email with a Tamil line, which I never understood. And I got so frustrated. I was like, Tata, I'm not gonna learn it now, and give me some time, right? Like I just, you know. But now I went back and I realized I do understand all of those. He was determined when we got into Priya, you need to learn Tamil. You need to understand it at least. And he's just always learning. I guarantee you he's already picked up like 90 different things that he's gonna learn because he's got all the time now to do what he needs to do. I am so thankful for everything that he shared with me. And that's not even scratch the surface of the amount of things that I can say. But I'm even more thankful for how he's living on through us and in the way that Ashok and I live our lives. You know, I'm so thankful. Thank you.
So there are 3 lessons that I've been able to pick up from Tata for the last 18 years that I've known him. And we try to embody that in all the things that we do. And the first one is unconditional love. And we went to visit them after we got married in Vijayawada. And they had this home, right, the roof, everything. And he had found a few empty pots near him. And somewhere in the field, he managed to find a rose bush that was growing. It didn't belong to him. It wasn't even on his land. But he took such good care of that rose bush, and he was so proud of it. And he kept, for multiple days, he kept asking us to go. So finally we relented. We said, okay, we'll go. We start walking down towards this rose bush, and it's empty land. And probably 5 feet in front of him, this massive snake just goes right across the path. And he looks back with this giant smile on his face and goes, oh, that was a nice snake, right? And I didn't think so. And so I looked back to tell Priya, hey, did you see that? And I looked back and all I saw was dust and dupattas flying and like, she was gone. She ran home. Didn't care whether Tata and I made it, she just ran home. And we got home, she was sitting on the roof, she wouldn't come down for a couple of hours. But even if there were snakes, untended land, something that anybody else would neglect, he would love on it, and he would care for it, and he would nurture it. And he shared that same love and care with his family and the people that he cared for. There was his love of learning, right? Everybody's already mentioned all the different things that he did. I remember maybe a few months ago, maybe a year ago, we were at the house and we were talking in the kitchen, and I kept hearing a thud upstairs. It was a banging noise, and I thought a bottle of shampoo fell. Okay, it's a bottle of shampoo. Then a few minutes later, again, it was the same noise. It can't be two bottles of shampoo falling. And then the third time it happened, I looked at Priya and I said, "What's going on?" And she was in the middle of conversation, and without skipping a beat, she just looked at me in the eye and said, "Oh, that's just Tata doing handstands, headstands." And then she just went back to the conversation as if nothing happened. And I didn't know how to process this information because he was an 80-something-year-old man doing headstands upstairs. And sure enough, when you go up, there he is, feet up, head down, and he's practicing headstands. And he was doing this with whether it was violin, vocals, dance, it didn't matter. He was always learning, he was always bettering himself, trying to pick up new skills, new things. When we got married, Priya was saying, he was learning Tamil, speaking to me in Tamil all the time. And so that's just how he had this passion for learning. And then he had a very strong sense of self. I mean, I'm sure there were people who saw a 60, 70-year-old man learning Kuchipudi dance and not really understanding what that was all about. But he didn't care. It didn't matter to him, people's opinions, what they thought. It was something he wanted to do. He wanted to learn it, he did it. And we've taken those lessons, you know, I remember when we wanted to learn how to ski. We've taken these lessons where we want to do something, we just do it. And that is a direct reflection of lessons that we have learned from Tata. And I'm just so grateful that I got the chance to know him when I did, and to have that relationship with him. So we love you and we really appreciate you for everything you've done. So I think Adi wants to share, or not, never mind. But he did want to say that Tata was his favorite carom board, Matata was his favorite carom board partner, right? And Divi wants to say that he was her favorite chess player, right? Or opposite, I'm sorry. So, anyway, thank you. So, you guys can sit down. Yeah, we would like to bring up Tata's son and his wife to share a few words. So we'll have Srinivas and Vedantam to share a few words.
Good morning to all of you. I have a long association with Papa. I'm speechless actually. I not speak anything much about the more memories which I have. He was behind us for all of our mischievous acts, and he was protecting us all the time. He was caring for us, and he was so content actually. So my schooling and all started maximum from Sea Level project. It was in Vizag. A very great time with him. During our holidays actually, it was one of our turns to go to his office. So most of the time I was the culprit. I was a scapegoat rather. So of course that brought me a great of seeing many facets of life. And one of his assistants, Lakshmi Narayan Garu, so he taught me mathematics. Till that time he was taking lot of my hours to learn myself. So there I got little breakthrough and got into it. I'm thankful to him also. He was a man of a lot of perseverance, resilience, very tough and very good leadership at the same time. He lead the things and he move with the things and create interests. He just do the real environment actually. It is up to us to pick up it. We can sense from him actually what we need actually. He will guide. He won't order. He won't Even nowadays, when I'm feeling his past memoirs and all, I was thinking he was every year he was giving the internships to all of the people actually, like creating many, so they're creating Daiva Bhakti, many like Ghana, I mean, what is that classes? Sangeeta Sikshana, Sibirale. So like that, initially he was not at all giving any, advertisement and all, but as the days passed by and he wanted to give, make it very massive. So he was creating, especially in our Undavalli house. So he was having the summer classes to all the dances. He's a great guru actually for me, and he himself searches for his gurus actually. He's in that way he's too much selfish. Like he was searching, even he was bringing his father to his. He was learning the Rudram Namkam Chamkam serial. So at the time he was not insisting to sit us there. While moving here and there, then we were having the Rudram Namkam. We used to tape in that audio recorder. He used to record it, learn himself, and that's a great experience with it. He wanted to make all the impossibles into possibles. If you say anything, so he was giving us lot of training indirectly actually. I mean, to repair any small things in the house, make any bucket, with a hole. So you use it to make it a rivet, and so many things we learn actually without it. And he's a very master of homeopathy. Many things. Even nowadays, even my kids and all, they remember the names actually. Bryonia, where is the left side, right side, what are the medicines? It is up to down, down to up. Anything. And he's very good gardener and he's botanist. And whenever Vinayak Chavati comes, we were gone case actually. I mean, the after the puja and all, it will near to up to 2 o'clock or so. By the time we'll be fainting for food. So, but he takes so care. I mean, taking us to the all around, getting items and all leaves, name by name, collection of all items. Then after bringing that, then make the god with that mud. So many things actually. So similar is the case with Diwali. Diwali occasion also, even he was use it to matablu, chichbudlu, all these things, making the things in the house itself. So good, flower pots, very excellent actually. And there is no age bar for him actually. He is always a continuous learner. Even at his, even during his last, in Undavalli, before moving to Hyderabad, at that time, he was got admission in music college, and of course even competing with all youngsters. He took both dance as well as vocal actually. He is very fond of violin, but because of his some problem, fracture with his hand, he could not make it so he opted for both the dance and and competing with all people. But he loves to go in bus only. He won't take any vehicle. He wait for the bus till it comes. He will go even if it is late also. Then ask those teachers to wait for him. That way, lot of mischievous acts in that. And even, of course, he was telling, "Where is my seat?" Though he is a senior citizen, but he was saying, "No, this is my seat." People were saying, "Oh, you are young. What is the need for you?" Like jokes were there. And he started, nowadays, of course, when I came last time to US at that time, before that, of course, he started chanting Gajendra Mokshanam and all. He became a regular chanting of it. When he came to Saudi also at that time, he was having, every week we were chanting Lalita Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam, Rudram. He's so fast and compete with us to, not to break the things. And of course, for Carnatic music, is very fond of music and all. Even he knows what other kids and all wants. You remember when in the morning when I am listening to Veena. So at that time I thought what is his name? Manchal Jagannatham Garu came, and he gone ahead. He brought him to our house, introduced to you, gave his blessings to you. He knows what we need. That's the beauty of him. We can sense what he wanted us to do. So I promise I will keep your words. And even of course, one time you asked me in Saudi, can you chant Rudram without seeing it? I said no. Then why don't you do? Then of course, after putting some efforts and all, I could learn now. There are 11 Anuvakas in Namakam and Chamakam each. So now I can learn, Papa. I know I can chant for you. And he's a very nice player also, Natka. He was doing many, like Lasani Peddana, I think. That was his last. So like that, he was actually, he makes himself, adaptable and very versatile actually, wherever he goes. And he will make the environment so free and vibrant. So it's very amazing personality. Papa.
Thank you. Next we'll have Tata's daughter and son-in-law, Lakshmi and Krishna Kumar, to share a few words.
Hi everyone. Thank you for all coming and celebrating my dad's life here with us. Good evening, good afternoon, people who are watching us virtually. Dad is here. Of course, he's on his way abroad to God. I just want to share a few words, what I learned from him. Today, who I am, it's all Dad. Like all my kids and Rachana and Teja and Vasu, my brother Vasu, whatever they mentioned, that's all he is, and a little more for me. Because I used to be like, I want to learn everything. I'm just a ditto replica of my dad. He would really provide me all the resources for me, and he is a kind of bridge between my mom and me, because my mom says girl need to be this way, girl need to be that way. Here I'm like a tomboy, and I want to do this, I want to do that, and I love to experiment. And my dad would just seeking, a kind of sheepish way, he will go and get all the things. We used to live in Sileru. It's a very remote project. Anything we want, even if I want a small paint bottle, he need to order that through somebody and it has to come to us. It will take a week. So he want to keep me in that week, my excitement of painting something. I used to do a lot of drawing, and one time I was drawing something and then he said, look, I'm going to give you a project for your Christmas holidays. You draw all the greeting cards. And I said, Dad, you are asking me 25 cards to do it. And he wants only 2 mangoes. He will have a theme for every year. One year, a sunset. The other year, 2 mangoes falling on a tree. He would just explain the scenery and I have to draw. Until I get it perfected, he won't allow me. It is amazing. And sometimes I used to maybe I will just
draw it on one and make it very hard. Like, he won't even allow me to get a carbon paper. Many of you of my age may know what a carbon paper is. You can put it on, copy it, and you will get copies in Xerox. He won't even allow me to hand a carbon paper. I just have to do it, and everything need to be perfect as if it is coming from a printer. And even if I miss a bit, this is okay, maybe make another one. So that 25 used to become sometime 30, 40. Oh my goodness, And then after that, he used to give me a project saying I need to make all the envelopes also. Everything by hand. That's what my dad is. And before the beginning of school year, he used to tell me, you need to get books from your seniors. You got to sit down and prepare for next year. That is a kind of proactivity he taught me. And he wants to prepare our notebooks. He will buy reams of paper and he will prepare all the notes. I used to really not liking to take those notebooks to school to write notes, because everybody else someone will have the new type of notebooks and all that. Here I am, all custom made, different. If it is mathematics or geometry, I used to have this long notebooks. It's because I'm the first child, he did all experiments with me. And so with that, my brothers gotten so wizened up, and they used to go to my mom and they used to get whatever they want. So, and he wanted to make me homeopathic doctor, or he wants me to become a musician to teach. And finally I told, Dad, I want to become a doctor. And he said, yeah, but he would not send me to the training courses. I have to sit down and read by myself, and I have to get it. If I don't get that, he says, you will not go to college. And believe it or not, I missed medical college with 1 point. I did not go. And I would have been, because he wanted me to become a homeopathic doctor. He's the happiest guy on the world that time, because I'm not going to allopath, because my dad loves homeopathy. And he used to get a lot of his family, colleagues come for homeopathic medicines. And me and my brother, Vasu, my youngest brother is a kind of mischievous. He says, if anything comes, he used to go to bathroom and he used to sit in the bathroom. So we both are the guinea pigs for my dad. Or Vasu, please bring that cotton. And Vasu need to bring cotton. Amma, you go and get some small pot of hot water, and we have to go and bring hot water. And then he would tell, bring that gauze cloth. It has to be perfect. If it is 2 by 2, it has to be 2 by 2. By mistake, if I cut a little bit extra, ilage nu waste chestav, itla kaadu. Make it correct. It has to fit exactly on the wound. Oh my goodness, that's how he made me. Actually, today that's what I am. Sometimes when I am cooking or doing things, all of them, the basic, I got it from my dad. And even learning part, same thing, that's what he taught me. And so who I am today, it is all my dad's hard work. And when I wanted to go for even higher education, my mom would say, you have 2 brothers. First, we have to make sure boys need to go to college. My dad said, it's okay, Ma, don't worry. I will make it happen for you. He helped me to go for my undergrad, and he even helped me to go for my master's. If my dad did not make that move with me, I don't know what I would have been doing in USA. And I went for, he asked me, he said, maybe go for sciences, biological sciences. And I said, no, Dad, I want to do either genetics or I want to do biochemistry. And he asked me why. And then I said, I did not become a doctor, but I want to have my PhD. I want to have a doctorate next to my name. And he said, okay, so how are you going to use biochemistry? I said, I will go and I will do research. I don't even know anything at that time, but I just said that, and he signed on my application. And because I got it in a merit thing, and then so he said, you already have your seat, okay, go ahead. And my mom is totally against to my master's degree. But so he said, it's okay. After 2 years, she'll come and we'll get her married. She will get married. Then he said, Amma, I make sure you are doing masters, but don't ask me for PhD. Just stop with masters, get married. After that PhD, you can do it. That's what my dad. He is such a strong pillar for me wherever I am, every step. I think Priya taught, like it said, that making dosa, making chapati, everything I follow to the T what my dad taught. My mom is a strong pillar to him. She used to step in where it is needed. Otherwise, she used to let him do it. And he's always worked against the wind. He never cared for anything. Even if the whole world can say it is wrong, he would ask me after I grew up, he used to ask me, Amma, I'm thinking of doing this. So we used to discuss advantages and disadvantages. He wanted to start a business like, the cars, he want to have two or three cars, he want to keep it and want to run like a limo in India. I said, do you have that capacity, Dad? First you keep one car and you use it. And then, no, why should I keep one car and driver? Whereas I can rent it out. Like that, he has tons of ideas. It's amazing. And we don't even see him reading any books, but I don't know where he picks it up. And he taught us so many things even here also. And like somebody said, he is very competitive. He is. And nowadays we do 10,000 steps, and he also did the same thing with us, because he doesn't do at one stretch. Every meal, before meal, after meal, he's doing that step, walks 2,000, 5 to 6 times a day. He finishes his 10,000. Nighttime, if we are rushing to finish our 10,000, if we are running fast, he wants to run faster than us. That's why if I see it, I have to say, Goli Maro, my 10,000 steps, let him cool down. And I have to step back. That way he will go into his same pace. Sometimes I just suddenly stop running. I will go slow, then he will walk slow behind me. He's such a follower. At the same time, he makes his life very content. And he won't even correct for anybody, like my brother Vasu said. He doesn't correct anybody, but he start doing it, that way we also will follow him. And he's the best guy, and I am so fortunate to be his dad, and to be his daughter. And so, but of course nowadays I became his mom, because for his health challenges. And so he's the best, and I miss him so dearly. But like everybody said, he's within us, all of us. But I promise we continue his legacy for generations to come. Thank you, Dad, for whatever you did. And we make you proud always.
Well, thank you all for coming to celebrate my father-in-law's life. In one sentence, if I have to say, it's a well-lived life, a life well-lived. Okay? And I know him very well, and he is very well known for his, highest degree of honesty, integrity, and ethical values. And born in a very remote village, and like I say, very good learner. So he just went to schools and all that. I don't know why he did not go to an engineering college. I don't know, maybe he was not allowed to, but he was determined to become an engineer, and he did something that's much harder than going to engineering school. He has written he went for the Institution of Engineers examinations, which is much harder, multiple times harder than going to an engineering school. And many people start, but even 10% will not finish. There's one of those who finished very fast, became a lecturer in the same college. That was his determination and highest level of self-learning. And he worked in a department that is prone to so much of corruption, and people get killed for not getting corrupted, but he persevered. And then that some of the values, it is very dear to him, and that's why I say, it's a very well life lived. And he touched several lives. Within the last 1 week also, Lakshmi got so many calls from people how their lives were saved because of his homeopathy knowledge. And he has a very what I would say, the homeopathy also is strict homeopathy. You know, I know homeopaths who give tetracycline injections in India, but he never compromised, and he just, you know, kept it to the book. By the book, he did, and he saved so many lives. Okay, and there's so many things I could share. And that alternative medicine, not only homeopathy, the herbo-mineral system and all that, we learned because of him, and that goes on. Even Adi and Devi know what to take when they get cold. They come and ask, can I have ferrum and calimur? You know, they are so well, we saw so much of value in that. It is all because of him. And there's so many things. But above all, the best thing I got from him, I'm very grateful for, is my life partner. And as she explains, you know, and he made her what she is today, the best person that I have known. She has so much of patience like him, and then and she won't compromise. She does everything perfectly, and then she has, like my mom. You know, my mom also, she's extremely patient, and you know, I'm very thankful for them. You know, for that, and I can keep going on and on, but all I say is thank you. It's a very well lived and setting an example for, you know, all of us, and you know, although we miss him physically, he lives. His legacy lives on. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Obviously, Tata has made a big impact in a lot of our lives, a lot of people's lives, and so we're all grateful. At this time, we're going to start preparations for the puja and the ceremonies. For those of you who have not had the chance to pay your respects, there is a basket of flowers here. We do ask that you just walk clockwise around Tata, and you can pay your respects as we're preparing for the puja. The other blessing that Tata has given us is the ability to get together like this. And so, you know, bringing people, friends, family together that haven't seen each other in a while maybe. So if you would like to mingle, please feel free to mingle. If you just move further to the back of the room, that'll be great. If you do want to watch the puja, you can feel free to sit down in the front and watch as well. Okay, but again, to our friends and our family, thank you everybody for coming. We do have some words. Oh, please go ahead. So yes, we appreciate everybody for coming and providing your support. So thank you.
Namaskar. Good morning, good afternoon. We're going to begin the puja in a few minutes. So I just want to remind everyone if you can please silence your cell phones so that we don't have any interruptions during the puja. And we're going to begin in just a couple of minutes.